It's the first business day of the week. And of course, we like to bring you some anecdotes from professionals to direct our path to financial freedom. Shariff Gbadamosi is back. He's here with us to talk to us about our earning capabilities and the ways to go about achieving this potential. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Always happy to be here.
Okay, so earning potential, earning capabilities.
Yeah.
I think we need to break it down.
Yes, it's, well, I call earnings capabilities is the amount of money you're able to command anytime you want it. Okay? So that's the simplest way I'm going to do it. Because I look at wealth as not the fact that you have a lot of money. Wealth is your ability to be able to command money anytime you need it, using what you do best, right?
So to make that money.
To make that money. And a lot of us are struggling with money. Well, how do I get it? How do I make it? We're copying a lot. We see what someone else is doing. Let me try and do that because I think
he just bought this big car.
How did he do it? You know, you're always trying to find out what the next person is doing rather than searching inwardly on your own. So this is looking more at yourself, your uniqueness, what value you can provide, and how you can actually make money from that value, monetize it. That's what earnings capability is, without looking externally, because we all have that capability. Okay,
so it brings me to that question. You know, some people will ask you, oh, if you had 10 million naira today, what would you use it for? You know, that question that comes about. And a lot of people think of bills they need to pay, investments they need to make, but they don't think about how they could use that money to make more money.
Exactly.
Right. So how would you advise?
Well, generally, before we start thinking about money landing on anybody's lap, because we all have this pie dream in our minds that, oh, if someone just gave me 2 million, 3 million, this is what I'll do with it. First of all, you need to build your own capability of making money. It starts with discovering, right? I have a 4-step strategy for discovering that. So you first discover, it's like Nigeria is a country. Look at yourself as a country. You should have some natural resources. Nigeria's natural resource, the biggest one is crude oil.
Yeah, of course.
So you as an individual, you should have some natural resource. What is that thing, that talent within you, that gift that you have, that it comes to you very easily, you learn very easily, you understand it better than anybody else, and when you work it, somehow, it tends to provide value to everybody around you. That's your starting point.
So discover.
You need to discover. It's kind of like discovering yourself, really. So when you now discover what that is, you now need to develop it, because it's in this raw form, right? It doesn't have the kind of value that you have more potential value within it, so you keep on developing. That's why we go to school. That's why we learn. That's why we keep seeking knowledge. That's why we keep on developing ourselves to be better versions of ourselves. That's why whenever gift you have within yourself, you tend to always find a way in which you can refine it and make it better. That's the development stage.
So you said discover first, then develop.
You develop it, right? Then when you develop it, that's when you monetize. You know, at the development stage, you're already providing value. You cannot put a price on what doesn't have value. It's impossible. Because value is determined by the person that is receiving what you're giving them. So when you now have that value, you can now monetize it and say, yes, I do have a market for this. Now, monetizing is where it's difficult. Because what I find in Nigeria is that we have a very small different types of ways in which people make money. You make money from work, or you make money for being self-employed, or you're running a business, or salary. Any one of those still involves building your earnings capability, because people are paying for what you are supplying. People are paying for the value in which you're delivering, even as an employee, even as a business owner. So that's exactly how it works with that. So even when you're monetizing it, you're collecting a salary for monetizing what it is that you're doing. At the same time, if you're a self-employed person, what value you're bringing to the market, it's being monetized. People are paying you for it, and it depends on the value that they feel they're receiving from it to determine how much, whether they feel what you're asking for in terms of the price is worth it or not.
So we have discover, develop, monetize. Then what's next?
Now, when you monetize, you should have some form of income, some profit. You now need to find a way to multiply that.
Because so multiply that money.
Multiply that money, the process you're getting. Don't forget that the process is still ongoing. You're still developing. Because you've developed doesn't mean there's not the next stage of development. There's always progress in this life. So you develop, you're still discovering more things. Then you develop and you monetize. Then with what you actually get, you're devising different ways of multiplying so that you can have different sources of income. It's not just safe to work on the same process and keep moving. Because, I mean, we have crude oil in Nigeria, we make petrol from it, we make diesel, we make many other byproducts. These are ways in which you can do that. Then whatever process we get, we are investing in other forms of sectors in the economy. You should look at yourself like that. There are many other things that can come out of you. Nobody just has one talent. Okay. There are many that you have, and you keep on working on this.
Okay, so I'm thinking of an average owner of maybe a pharmacy or something like that. He started building his family from a small shop. Eventually, he discovered that he was really good at it. Then he developed it, expanded. Then he monetized, you know, what he had found out about himself, his potential, right? And how does he then multiply that money he's making as quickly as possible?
Investments. You can invest in other enterprises. Okay. You can spot potential in someone else that's in the same line of business. Yeah. You can go into the medical field, right, and things like that. So there are different ways in which you can actually get this done. Yeah.
And I know that we can always get those answers to those questions that you might have online. Please make sure you send us a tweet at TVC Connect, and of course with our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria. If you have any more questions for Shariff Gbadamosi. Wow, financial potential, interesting stuff.